One, or will Geltek Cyber Team secure their spot in the grand finals by closing it out 3-0? They've got 2 more maps to get there, but they're well on their way to doing so. It's Vitality versus Geltek Cyber Team, map number 2. Brigida Gideon, let's do it.
Thank you so much, Reflections. We go into the land of Dawn with the world watching. Everybody looking for somebody to stop Vitality's reign. But with the fans here and how much energy they give, they can only watch and bear witness as our competitors hit the field.
They cannot let any other feeling take over. I know we might be worrying by a bit just looking at how the Ling could potentially be playing into this game, but you have to give out all your energy, because if GCT get on the momentum, it's gonna be tough for Vitality here.
Keep in mind that, truth be told, as much as this might not be a lingable game, as long as Vival is able to take out Tokyo, there's a really good chance that Vitality still win the team fight here. There's not a lot of big damages, nothing that really leans into what they want to do. There is anti-synergy on both sides. Ooh. But for now, at least the laning phase is going smoothly.
So they've went for a very specific win condition if that were to be the case. It's not a Ling just constantly going for the kills all over the map, but more on making things difficult for one of the main carries of GCT, which is looking to be, once again, just the Bruno. But Kyoe seems to be on to Chell at this point. Vivian does show up though, but they're not really gonna go for the fight.
Yeah, this is more of a punishment on the GCT side. Like, look at the tax on the HP, right? Getting a lot of the regenerates out of them, while Chell barely missing any EXP or even gold in the lane itself. Now, Nubon, this is the real question here. The fact that they banned out the... Wait, hold on.
Oh, Vivian does find Tokyo, still has the Purify, but Vival shows up. And right on cue, you mentioned it. This might be the game plan.
Yup. Again, the laning phase going really, really well. They got to be worried. Like, GCT need to recognize and remember that Ling, similar to Fanny, you take trades in lane, you better stay at least above 60% of your HP. Anything lower, there's a good chance that Vival's gonna show up and dive you.
This is why they took out so much of the more safe options in the gold lane, the likes of the Moskov. They just wanted a gold lane that was easier to access for a Ling, but then right now, we did talk about the EXP lane. It seems like Yubon does have a slight advantage over Fumi Echo, at least for now.
This is great. Vitality, understand we don't actually need the first turtle. All we gotta do is see whether GCT wants it more than us, and we're gonna start stealing camps away. Look at that. Minimal. Give it up. Doesn't matter. Ling's gonna get a purple buff on the opposite side, and still, unless GCT recognize, hey, after this turtle, we need to go for a fight and invade on the enemy purple side.
Vitality had enough time to get back despite that steal. Now Fumi Echo though and Vivian are quite low on HP, so Vival just does it alone! Vival steals it all alone! There goes the Real World and the Tempest of Blades, and Sonjik is nowhere to be found. What a macro play by Vitality!
What was that? What was that? Wait, I'm pretty sure that Vival didn't even have the purple buff. Yeah, Vival doesn't have it. They didn't steal it. They decided, you know what? They're actually rushing it down. We're gonna walk back over to the turtle and just take him out. They got 2 kills for no trade on top of the turtle. I think that, I don't want to say that GCT kind of let it happen, but it sort of feels that way.
Yeah, they weren't able to really scout out what else Vitality was doing up on the map. I think they realized it very, very late too. So now they're losing out on a lot of resources. Fortunately, they are somehow balanced out in terms of levels and EXP, but that was a good start for Vitality this game.
Yeah, especially since GCT already had all the advantages that they were looking for. Well, maybe not on the gold side, but other than that, they had first position, first move.
Quaito all alone here. There's 4 members and Chell decides to go in with the ultimate and the setup from Vivino as well. There goes the Real World manipulation. The follow-up is just too much from Vitality. Vival constantly finding more and more kills. City gets 2 as well.
All right. I gotta think about this for a moment because they are not playing as confidently as we saw in game 1. Revitalize was still available technically for Quavo, and by no means, I understand by holding your battle spell, knowing that you are going to die, that you want to save it, but at the same time, the cooldowns and knowing that the next turtle, you're not going to have the right abilities just yet anyway. So At this stage, Vitality are starting to take control. They control the tempo, not like GCT in game number 1. They're making their statements now and loud and early.
And isn't it a dream start for an assassin lineup too? Because even at this point, Chell just confidently taking on the 1v1 against Tokyo. That's where you see the Revitalize come in, but is it a bit too late? Because the Tempest of Blaze from Vival is going to finish everything off. Doesn't have it now though, so she just might get traded out, and it's a shutdown for Kuejo.
Huge shutdown. Really sad that it had to go on to the roamer. It would have been nice that, you know, maybe Sanj or maybe Kyoe, somebody else. Most ideally, Tokyo, because right now, Tokyo is taking so much hurt. 0-3, 5 minutes into the game. 2 of those deaths ended up being handed over to Vival. One, I don't really count. But even so, it's not the best position for any gold laners out there.
Yeah, it's been a bad day for Bruno. I think a lot of Brunos have been going through the most unfortunate of early games. We saw that happen too earlier on, but this time around, hopefully they do get to find some way to get back in the game, because again, it's still a very fast lineup, but just as fast, Vivian finds a target and they decide to pour in all of their resources there. Wrath of Dryad 2 burned it down, but it might not be enough. They only find Sanj for now, but the follow-up from Fumi Echo! Look at that Throne of Ruin as Chell also finds Tokyo in the top lane. So much wins for Vitality all across the map.
A beautiful chain. Are they going to dive this? Yep, Lubon, you got it. Oh, got the flicker out of them. Doesn't get the kill, and that's fine. Getting the flicker is good enough. GCT, at the very least, are punching back for Vitality. This is a sweeping victory across the map. Top tier 1 already taken. Another neutral objective while they were at it. And not to mention, just really racking up the kills. 9-1.
Oh, that hurts. Chell just walked up straight to Tokyo, and you already saw how she brought her down to half HP, but Vitality have been heavy on the macro so far in this game. They've been very specific on their win conditions. They've accomplished it in their first rotation, and they need not repeat it a bit too much, enough to a point where GCT could read them out. Now it's GCT who we are currently questioning in terms of what the game plan currently is.
Well, right now, we just need to see a full-on team fight, 5v5. We need to see how Lubon really impacts and influences the shape of the fight, right? Because so far we've only seen the traditional 4v4s, and somebody is always late to the fight, unfortunately. And the chain CC on Vitality has been proven an effective strategy now that they've opened up mid-tier 1. They're just going to reapply that same script here in the jungle.
Whoa, Vivian decided to take that stun from GCT, but maybe at the expense of her life, or maybe not. But Kuejo has enough damage to do it. Fumi Echo holding down 2 members as they also eliminate that Belleric in the back lines.
We trade 1-for-1 here. Not too bad. They still have 20 seconds left. Oh my god.
Whoa. Sonj looking at the target, but City picks up the kill. A lot of help here for Vival in the body block. This is just such a fast game for Vitality so far.
A really fast game, but at least Lubon going to make the difference here and try to at least get some gold back. It's a 4.7k lead, one of the bigger leads that we've seen here from Vitality in this matchup against GCT. 7 minutes into the game. So relatively early at the 8th minute, we're already getting a rough amount of 5k differentials.
Yeah, I can only imagine the amount of gold Chell has right now on this carry too. Look at that.
So rich.
8 to 11 is the gap between their levels. Tokyo, unfortunately, on a 0-4-1 KDA right now, and I feel like at this point, Chell could just confidently take on even the tankiest members of GCT, so that's going to be a problem for Kyoe and Kuejo.
Well, speaking of confidence, you can see that Vitality showing themselves, hey, we're in the mid lane. Are you going to do something about this? Because we're walking to the Lord right now, and you don't have much of a choice. Now, the purple buff on the enemy side is spawning in 2 seconds, and Vival back into the same little shenanigans. They're repeating this script.
Yep, GCT badly want to contest, and they have not paid attention to the other parts of the map, all the while they've been trying to set up for the entries here in this upcoming Lord. But Vitality are just baiting them out. GCT, could they potentially sense this and try to get the or try to bite the bait, because they see that Vival's up top. Kuejo's getting bursted down, has to run away, but the center from Sanj might not be enough because Vitality were prepared. Now it's just the backlines that Vival's really after, because Chell can take care of the rest. Vitality Vitality win out big in that team fight.
Oh, wait, it's not over. It's not over just yet. They might actually get a little bit more here, but it looks like they've zoned them out entirely. Cine and Vivian doing a very good job to make sure that GCT don't pull any rugs from underneath them and sneak behind.
Vitality, that was such quick movement. Vival, just for a moment, showed herself up top after stealing that purple buff. And GCT were a bit too occupied with trying to get in and follow up with both Cuejo and Sonj because they both went for setups anyway. But the counters from Fumi Echo, the Throne of Ruins, and the real-world manipulations, plus Vival just cutting off the rest of the members as Chell clearly had enough damage. GCT had no way around that team fight.
Oh, Beleric Wrath of the Dryad's already out. And now, Vival, are you going to go 1v5? Are you really that confident with a 7.3k lead for your team? I don't think so, because Fumieko, he's got it covered down by.
I think they're very careful now that they have this lead. They've learned so much from game number 1, and they've been playing it relatively simple now that they've already gotten the advantage for themselves. Now, most of the Holy Shields are about to come fall for GCT, and I think it's just really playing for Tokyo that could be the game plan.
I don't know. I just saw Tokyo recently just purchase the Berserker's Fury 10 minutes, 30 seconds into this game. That's a really late pickup here in terms of just scaling timers. And in comparison to the already completed Trinity build on the opposite end, and of course, got to make sure you got some mana regen because Chell wants to stay on the map longer rather than having to recall every single time she runs out.
Ooh, tough though, because that can deal with the front lines, yes, but that Wishing Lantern pickup too from Cine, so that's a lot of items already packed by Vitality just to respond to the lineup of GCT or to whoever might want to start things off for them. And they might not even confidently do so because, as you mentioned, it's just the Haas and the Berserkers. 3k is the goal differential between Chell and Tokyo at this point.
Yep. If the math serves me right, I think it should be roughly around the 16th to 17th minute where we're expecting, okay, a bold attempt coming up from Vivian here, but do we see any counterplay?
Kyoei does try to go for a counterplay. It's Cine who she tries to set up for.
Whoa!
Does find the kill on Cine. They weren't able to accomplish that first, but now they're gonna be okay. That's a loss for Vitality, at least one by one. GCT trying to be a bit more confident and pushing forward.
Yo, Fumi!
Echo, Throne of Ruin on the far! And the follow-up from Vival! Now it's Vitality with a re-engage! They're dealing with the front lines first, one by one. It's the exact same script for Vitality! The spread of the damage! A triple for Vival! And a double for Chell!
What a huge engage coming out of Fumiko! This small woman has some big guns at such high-stakes games, and that is going to be it. Tokyo coming up in 7 more seconds, but the game is already done. A clean wipeout from Vitality to say, no, we're defending champs for a reason. 18-3.
Just when GCT thought that they could have found an opening, a single pick